Sometimes I go also.
Do you know coding?
I
That's so
learned
cool.
some times ago. I
Oh,
learned coding.
thanks.
Yes.
I wanted to
Yeah.
learn, but it's kind of like complicated for
Toilet.
me.
Do you know what it
But
is?
yeah, maybe
But
I'll
you
try
didn't
one
need.
day.
I also some guys
Excuse
they
me?
say they are not coders, and I say this is not a problem. Each team need also marketing and business people to
Yeah,
understand what business really
Toilet
need
rice.
because coders developing what they like.
yeah.
Yeah, they get then the challenge with the business,
Mhm.
and so a team has to have all the facets. So and finally, I can convince them that they're also joining. Oh,
Okay, I think I'll just
yes,
settle
please,
my
please,
stuff.
please, please, please. Hi, good morning.
Okay. So where will we all that?
I think it's your boot here. Now we are, if you like.
Malaysia, yeah. So currently, I think that's all our day today. So I think there's most of yes. So I think for this hackathon, we are actually honored to have customers or partners like Huawei, Intermission, Cybersecurity, China, all these who coming to support us. And we are actually not only looking to give attractive prices.
So he's speaking only for the locals. I ask him if you want to speak for the locals. Don't make sense to connect to everything. But I'm not sure if they will come for.
Only 2 people join online.
Only 2? The integration works?
They will do.
Oh, how only 2 people? But we have 40 people registered. So how? They didn't receive the link? Can we resend a reminder with the link to everyone now? Ask wrong Jen to send a reminder with the Zoom link via email. Type in WhatsApp.
My handy. So, Dorette.
Okay. Hello. Hi. Welcome. Hello. Jana. Can you check?
What? What I have to do?
If they can hear me. Can you check if they can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, hey everyone, and thanks you for joining here. I will go straight forward to what you likely want to see more today. So I'm happy to see some people joining here. We have also online participants, and let's move to what we wanted to show you today, as we have recorded you in this platform. Is not because for fun, okay? It's a new way of involving you in something more collaborative, okay? So what we would like to show to you, and I'm not sure at the end of the day you will love it or you hate it, but I hope you will help it.
Yeah, only one. Some of them only
so first of all,
doing something.
You have a list of challenges. I saw some of you are looking still on the exercise that you have received in the days before, but remind you that you have a list of challenges, and that list of challenges on our public website. I will show you at the end. So first of all, let's start with some hands-on housekeeping stuff. So some of you familiar with the development on your own laptop, you can do whatever you like, but it's important that you will to remember that you will be counted as a plus if you will be able to showcase something at the end, okay? And it will be considered as a plus if you will be able to upload your project here, means to create your project here. First, think you have this umbrella repository. It's where you can create your repository at the end. If you want to change the remotes of the repository, you can push your source code at the end here. But you can connect you privately everywhere and work with your own source code and your own repository. So during these 2 days, you can use this. You can connect to your projects and you can import your projects in the platform, right? I will show again. Okay. Okay. I hope I have some project here. So I'm connected outside of the organization, outside of the hackathon, so I can use my own projects to start something, right? If I want to start a blockchain project, sorry. Okay, select. We have a list of runtime machines already pre-configured with the libraries. Pay attention to versions based on your own project's date. Most popular are here. We have selected this most popular for you. This is where you can clone your project and make it running in our platform for showcasing. We have several stacks here. And yes, if you can connect it. We have already shared with you, all of you may have seen a local network. Later I'll show you also for public network. Or you can point directly to your own preferred network, okay? Okay, from here. Then start. Start with an empty project. You can go in the terminal, clone the project from wherever you like. Very quick and easy, right? This is annoying, but yeah. Okay. Okay, few things to remind important about this. Your access word for your application, assuming you have not applications, whatever, HTTP, whatever application, you can find them here. You can extend the number of applications if you have your preferred applications by editing the configuration.
In the FAQ page.
So edit the configuration. You go here. So you can add whatever you like, set the port, so you will know then the listener will bind to that port, okay? You can set startup script if you like, whatever. One important thing, once you have finished, if the application is running, you have different options here. You go to the information, and if you have, for instance, application running, you will see all of them here as well. In this list, for example, you have your node application running, you will see a link generated for you. You can share it everywhere outside, in Dora hacks, everywhere. Most important, if your code is not finished, but you have smart contracts, you have everything, you can still share this, copy this, copy and share it. Consider that this is your private world. Don't share only with people that you trust, right? This will give access to anyone to your repository. I recommend sharing with your own team or to the jury. In Dora Hack, for instance, you can share a documentation or link to your public repository, not to the IDE, of course. And if you have a running application, you can share the link of the running application, like I show you from here. Okay. About blockchains. So I mentioned repository. Of course, you clone from outside, you do git clone, all this stuff possible. About blockchains, we have for you one private running chain in our system that I have shared with all of you. I'm running as a user like you right now. What I see is what you see. So I share with all of you this. The advantage of doing this, depending, the RPC endpoints are available from in and out. You can use external or internal from inside the runtime. The password is password. You can use the password here and okay. I need to check the password. I don't remember it. I will show you later. The password here to retrieve the private key. And you can submit your transaction here. Alternatively, we for you for this hackathon in the service. Okay. Here we have some interface that you can use. So you have Polygon with the API already pre-configured for you. It's on the testnet. We have and so Rinkeby with the API and so on. So use this as well. Advantage of using this, it's that we are using caching system, so it'll be much faster. If you go outside, you may have some latency on your, this is using caching system for particular API calls, so then, and the mainnet. Okay. You that teams are here. If you find something missing or if you find something not correct, just let us know.
We are supposed to have 2 members, not yet added.
Okay, we will have a look on the requests. The requests are coming. We have to validate them, and then they will be added. Maybe need to check when they did the request.
I made a request yesterday.
Okay.
So yeah, and then it's supposed to be 5 members below.
In which group? 12. Act 12?
Yeah, 12.
Okay, okay. I guess. Okay, let's check after this. You are?
I'm trying.
So you're not here?
In tech 12, yes.
Ah, okay, okay.
Picture.
Yeah, okay. Same for, okay, if about the sharing, it's important as well, either with us, with the some of Morpheus Lab or Jury, or, okay, or across your team. So by default, because you are belonging to the same competition, hackathon, you would see disable some you will see, of course, enable your own project. You can access it. If you want to share, to co-work across your team with the other belonging to your group, you go here and search for the user. Okay? And add your team member and share, so you work simultaneously to the same project. Don't need to create duplicates of your project to co-work. Yeah. Then you do the PR, Git push, Git pull, or everything that works. Okay. Something that will be considered a nice thing for us, and where your reputation in sense of future opportunities, as we working with the great partners, and we are continuing to evolve this platform. We are collecting important feedbacks from you, so don't hesitate to come to one of us and tell us what do you think about this, and you can finish your project. Whoever has a project good and consider it's good, you can prepare it for app library and you can upload it here. Our customers, what we do with this material, we showcase it to our customers, and the moment we find the application is good, we credit you, and we use this kind of incentive mechanic to future promote, and we will get in touch with you. And if you create the application, it's even better. So this is one of the goals that we are looking to increase this, and the incentive will be on your side. Okay, let me. One moment to finish. Thank you. Any question regarding this demo? Yeah, please. Morpheus Lab? The in-house chain, it should be shared to everyone. If you don't see it, means that we did not share. You go to blockchain ops menu, you should see it there. Is it? You use the RPC rule.
This question is because we have to transact your testnet, right? So we need ETH, right? Yeah. So how do we get an ETH to make transactions on the testnet?
The private key?
Oh no, how do we get ETH?
There, if you use the private network, they are already pre-funded, all the accounts there, with lots of Ether.
Right.
So you can connect your MetaMask, create new accounts, and transfer from the main accounts that you see there in your new accounts. You can connect MetaMask custom network, take the RPC chain ID, and define your custom name for your network, then import account from private key, then transfer using MetaMask you can do this. Otherwise, you can use the public chains. For public chain, of course, you need to go to Faucet and have some. Oh, okay. Okay, few things. For the challenge, I hope everyone has clear the website location for the challenge list. You can reach any of us for advice support during these 2 days on site for online participants and for on-site as well. We have documentation and Go discussion. You can reach mentor and developer and platform team on the discussion link. You can have a chat here. It's on the bottom right corner where you can chat with the support for any incident or problems. And join our community. We will be very grateful. Thank you very much.
I don't know if everybody can hear me. So happy coding. So we have now some other sessions as well with Geek. Geek is also online already and will share some infos with you if you like. But we don't want to disturb you with coding as well. Everything will be recorded. And if you have any question, we have on-site mentors. If you have a look around, Jonathan is there, Ryan is there, and outside also Aaron. And you can Johnny, can you check it? Email. Start the because allowed to. Yeah. So now you are a host. Maybe now you.
There I am.
Super, fantastic.
Okay, very good. Hi.
Yes, please.
Okay, well, a pleasure to be here, and thanks very much for having me. I'm John Conley. I'm the chief economist of Geek, which is a blockchain project, a layer 1 blockchain project. If you don't mind, I have some slides, and I'd like to just start with those. Okay, that is strange. I don't. Okay, good. I see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Good. Okay, here we are. All right, so let's talk a little bit about blockchain. So, what's it good for? Bitcoin, of course, is the dinosaur, the ancient version. It didn't start with smart contracts, of course, and that means it's sort of mostly a settlement and payments platform, only a very useful and interesting one. Szabo postulated the notion of a smart contract and really opened up all kinds of interesting possibilities. So really, if we have Turing-complete languages, we should be able to do anything, be the world computer, have trustless interactions, DeFi, complicated decentralized business processes, all kinds of things are possible. So fundamentally, what the idea of a smart contract is a way of capturing the intentions of two parties that may not know each other, don't have any reason to trust each other, in code that will then be executed completely neutrally and in a way that everybody understands. No one can back out. Everybody has to follow the rules they agreed to in the first place. Very powerful idea. But for this really to work, a couple things have to be true. People have to be able to understand and express their intentions fully and clearly. And mostly people don't. They have some notion of what they want, but they haven't thought down all the game tree. And they just kind of assume that in extraordinary situations, the ordinary thing that people expect will happen. But of course, code doesn't reflect that. Even if they manage to express exactly what they wished, verifying that the code that they receive actually reflects those intentions is very difficult. Again, taking into account all of the possibilities is a really daunting task. And understanding that what the code does as a piece of logic is also a skill that not everybody has. Even if we do express it correctly, we know that audits are expensive and difficult, and they frequently come up with missed problems, and we have difficulties despite having experts having gone over it. So in practice, people don't try to do this. They rely on other people that audit the contracts and also on the skill and good intentions of the developers. We hope we're all on the same page and we're trying to fight the same fight. So we trust that this is going to be true for the most part. Many implementations of smart contracts and blockchain don't actually keep the contract state in the ledger itself. You can always recalculate it if you have access to the set of transactions that's relevant, and figure out the current state just by rerunning all of those transactions. But for the most part, the state of a contract is maintained in some sort of Merkle tree structure or other data structure, which is an off-ledger object, not something that people can directly access. So these things effectively mean that smart contracts have to rest on a trust layer. Their flexibility and their ability to do all sorts of interesting things is in some sense a weakness, because it means the complexity is raised to a level where most users, almost all users, are left trusting in the mechanisms and the designers. So in reality, of course, the record is not terribly good. We've got a lot of successful smart contracts, obviously, but these are just a small list of notable failures that have resulted in significant losses. So these losses in monetary terms are, of course, lamentable. They're deplorable, but it also undermines trust in blockchain and trust in the community that's trying to develop blockchain. we're smeared by these kinds of actions, these kinds of outcomes. Are we dishonest? Are we not skilled? Are we trying to do more than we can really hopefully hope to carry off? If you're, in the public, this is not very reassuring to see these kinds of exploits happen. So trust is a problem, and how effective these contracts actually are at carrying on what they want to do is a problem. But also executing smart contracts on a world computer, thousands of machines, is inherently resource intensive. That's reflected in fees, and of course, the more replication you have, the more resources that are used. So all in all, this means that smart contracts are constrained by issues of cost, scale, and also, of course, the security that we just got finished talking about. Now, I'm not saying that smart contracts are useful. Many of them are very useful. I think, a good example would be Uniswap. Seems to have worked very well and enables tremendous. I use it all the time actually. So it's a great smart contract. But we don't really know in advance as untutored public which ones we can trust and which ones we should be careful about. So it might be that smart contracts are really much more suited to simpler problems that people can understand, code which is simple and can be understood, and problems which don't have a lot of logic branches and give a clear, definite outcome. So perhaps common operations are more suitable for smart contracts. So what is our solution? So I'm the chief economist for Geek, and so we have a different approach to this. We view blockchain as something which generates secure, auditable, verifiable, and immutable record of many things, many different ways. So basically, we think that blockchain is a data service and should be viewed this way. And so the challenge as a data service is to create a sufficiently rich set of transaction and record types and a flexibility of data structures to serve as an information backbone for business processes, and also at the same time minimizing cost and complexity of the whole operation. So the challenge is utility on the one hand and making complexity low on the other hand, in our view. So what do? So we take our blockchain specifies a relatively small set of records that keep track of all the relevant state data on a validation layer ledger. So we have two ledgers, a validation layer ledger, which keeps track of things that involve coins, and an application ledger, which keeps track of other data, which doesn't involve coins. So the ledger contains all the relevant information. There's nothing that you need to induce from the stack of transactions. Everything that is relevant is always visible in the current ledger state. So we've developed a set of transactions that allow us to do the following on a base layer, and all of this without smart contracts, with avoiding it. So we can, of course, do normal coin transactions, multi-sig transactions, atomic transfers, something we think is very interesting, which is notary and attestation services, a very simple application, one that's very useful, NFTs, and some other things, quite a lot more actually, but still sticking with a very small set of fundamental data structures and logic, which we can encode actually in about 30 pieces of declarative logic. It's basically declarative code that we've written. This means that if you use this as a data backbone, all you really have to verify is that the layer one is correct, and you always know how it operates. All the applications which would use these different kinds of data structures and transactions will always use them the same way. NFTs always behave as NFTs behave. There's nothing special in any smart contract that might make one NFT implementation differ from another one. So it creates that kind of simplicity and uniformity. All right, so one of the things we're developing right now, we're developing both public and private versions of this blockchain. So a private version, it turns out there's quite a large demand for it. We're talking to quite a few customers. People want something that can generate an auditable record, for example, of interactions between parties, and even even not even parties that are outside the same organization, but sometimes even between departments within organizations. So these notary transactions I mentioned have three essential elements to that part of their functionality. The first is a hash reference. And this hash could be a hash of a written contract, a receipt, a bill of lading, IoT telemetry, a acknowledgement of transfer of custody, the fact of granting access to a database or a file, permissioning, for example, is something we're working on, or really just about anything else. It's just a hash that of course, not uniquely, but effectively uniquely references some event or some state. You also have metadata elements, and these are just unstructured data that could be used in any way that the user might wish. Could be for indexing. I could use it to look up, what has this salesman done, or where is this particular load? It could display public information, like we've had so many police calls this evening, or traffic is at a certain level, or the reservoir is drained. So anything that we want to make public and then permanent could be put in this metadata in a visible way. Also, it could of course hold encrypted details and really anything else. So we don't force structure on that. We let the user decide what he wants that to mean. And then finally, a signature, of course, which on the above data, which attests that the transaction originator agrees with whatever it happens to mean. There's a link down there at the bottom. You can see a demonstration of this technology. I think it's kind of nice. NFTs. So instead of a smart contract, we have a type of account which we call an NFT mint, and this NFT mint account allows anyone to set up an account that can then generate as many NFTs as he cares to issue, being for anything. They could be for, of course, sad apes, or they could be representing stock certificates, or they could be art or digital rights, really anything at all that you might want them to represent. The mint contains the public key of the issuer. So that means that public key is then used to sign the NFT record, thus authenticating it and saying that this is in fact something that is endorsed by the minter, maybe a gaming company or a financial company. We also have a place for a transaction fee. So there's a built-in revenue model where every time the NFT is transacted, whatever the fee is named is automatically transferred to an account that's also in the NFT mint record. So the creator of this NFT can get paid every time this thing is transacted if he wishes to. It's not required, but it's a way to internally generate automatic revenue. The mint actually creates two associated account records, and this is the way that we structure our NFTs. There's an immutable NFT record that includes the hash of the tokenized object, metadata that might describe it or index the NFT, and that never changes. That goes to the application layer ledger. Once it's issued, it can't be changed. It's just a fixed object. The other thing it issues, though, is a validation layer coin account. And so that coin account includes the application layer record number. And so that pointer says that this coin account controls that NFT. And so we can then transfer the NFT by transferring the application layer record number to another coin account. So that's a mechanism of transfer. We have the coin record that points the NFT that it controls, and then we can always transfer that to somebody else's control. The metadata that we include for a gaming application might be something like this is user ID number 8, and the NFT that it points to is a magic sword. Number 16 has certain properties, or it might be a client name or account number, and the NFT might represent 100 shares of IBM stock. And this is transferable across people in this decentralized way. So, as I say, we can transfer these through these coin transactions. And what this allows us to do is, if I'm a gaming company, for example, I can inspect the validation layer ledger And that tells me the current ownership of all the NFTs that exist, because I can see the NFT pointer right there in the record. By inspecting the application layer ledger, all NFTs and who created them, who signed them, what their descriptions are, also are visible. So inspecting those ledgers is the way that you ingest information from this blockchain. So another thing, atomic transfers. So atomic transfers are typically run through smart contracts. We've built in an ability for these coin accounts also to be hash time locked. So the record is created, and instead of being controlled by a signature, assets are transferred to a hash locked account that has a hash digest of a pre-image known only to the creator. And we can lock coins or NFTs into these records. And if an unlocked transaction that contains the correct pre-image is presented to the chain, then the record is unlocked, and then it goes in its pre-designated way to the receiving account, which was designated at the creation of the hash locked account. Then the coin account evaporates and all the assets get transferred. If no correct pre-image is presented before a built-in block height, so there's a refund block, then automatically the assets go back to the originating account. So this is another difference we have in our approach, that smart contracts generally have to be activated by a user. Somebody has to take proactive steps to make a smart contract run. With this approach, the validators look at the ledger and say, aha, here's a hash locked account that has expired, so now let's now revert it. It happens automatically. There's no need for a transaction to take place by a user. We can also use this to do multilateral and cross-chain atomic transfers, meaning that if I want something that you have and you want something that she has, we can create a chain of these hash-locked accounts that can then be resolved with a single pre-image. Or we can also do cross-chain transfers in a similar way. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're developing both permissioned and public chains, and we deploy them in a kind of multi-chain ecosystem. And so this is one of the ways that we get scalability. The verified immutable data produced can be by anonymous agents or by permissioned agents. The ledgers can be closed to a set of people you select, or if it's on the public version, it's open to anyone. So you can have these sources append to these chains, and then those transactions, of course, are used to update the ledgers. The information model is that we have APIs that will then allow off-chain application software to access, ingest, and use this ledger data as an independent data service. So the idea here is that you build the applications as complicated as you wish. Also, you could make them mutable and change them as business needs change, or as regulations change, or compliance changes. The data, the underlying data, can't be fiddled with. It's permanent and immutable, but the way that it's used is flexible. And that seems to us to be a better model than trying to cram a very complicated, possibly dynamic business process into expensive code that lives on the chain itself. So I haven't really talked about a lot of the details of the chain, but just to be very brief, you can see them at Geek.io. The cost of our transactions is about, on the scale of about 1/100 of a cent per transaction. Varies a little bit, but that's the cost scale. Our scalability in terms of transaction output is about 1,000 transactions per second on a single chain instance in a multi-chain ecosystem. Of course, it depends on some of the equipment, but with ordinary equipment and ordinary, home-based broadband, that's the empirical level of transactions that we're getting through. And then security, we have a different method of achieving consensus called proof of honesty. And this requires that there exists only at least a single honest node. And if that's true, then users are guaranteed of safety. But that's a talk for a different day. So, conclusions. We're building a blockchain that we feel focuses on what blockchain does best. And that's transactions that create secure, immutable records without the need for trust. So it's the data that they create. This data layer then allows you hackers, you developers, to do what you do best, and that's to build mutable, complex, ever-evolving, beautiful business applications that then create and ingest these records. And that allows you to leverage this trustless security that we think we're developing here at Geek. So that's all I have. Thanks for your attention. And I want to thank Morpheus Labs and the Blockchain Association of Singapore and all of you. So I hope that we'll have a chance to get to know each other better. Thanks.
John, thank you very much for this presentation. It was very insightful. Thank you so much. So
Okay, I appreciate it.
yeah, I hope you have a good day, and thank you that you are joining us.
Okay, you too. Thanks so much again. Good luck with your conference.
Yes, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
is so much better with this thing here.
Hello.
So our next speaker is now Peter, and Peter is the founder of NFT County and Crypto.cc. With Peter and Leo, our next speaker is going to share with us revolutionary NFT DeFi models in digitizing real-world assets into NFT, which provides both liquidity to asset and passive income to NFT holders. This may be really interesting. Okay, Peter. We are not ready yet. He needs some minutes more to be connected, to get his headset. If you can listen to him. But I think it's something really nice, and it's also really fitting to some of our challenges we have on the website. And welcome, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Oh, there's a. Oh. Okay, so this will be the slides, yeah? Yes. Yeah. Test. Okay. Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming here today. Special mention to my friends Eric and John that are here to support me. And thank you, Morpheus Lab, for organizing this wonderful hackathon and helping projects like us, local projects, to have an opportunity to share about how we plan to disrupt the Metaverse, which is kind of cliche nowadays already. And what we're doing is a kind of a disruption against the luxury market and by bringing the physical luxury good products by disruption into the Metaverse. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So what we are offering is world's first $1 million NFT bounty prize with a physical QR watch from Frank Muller. What we are doing is using aftermarket customization. We are providing this watch here, which is a original Frank Muller. We send it to Hong Kong, send it for aftermarket diamond customization, and provide a QR code to display the $1 million bounty prize, which is collated from the sales of the NFT. So upon sales of 100 NFTs in our whitelist and private sale, it would have $1 million that is stored with our custodian on-chain partner. So there is no rug pull, guys. This one is legit because it's all with the custodian. And the watch itself is 20,000 because it's aftermarket customized diamond in Hong Kong, and it's using a original Frank Muller watch. As compared to the encrypto version in Dubai, which is 100,000, and it kind of have like a double spend because that QR code on and the other Frank Muller version is Bitcoin Cold Wallet. So you have to pay 100,000 and buy your own Bitcoin to kind of like flex, and that one has no NFT. So what we did is an innovation to disrupt this industry. How we do it is through aftermarket customization, through NFT. We are able to create a $1 million prize pool, and upon collection of all 100 NFTs, work with a custodian partner to redeem the prize pool. So once a collector completes this series, in this collection, there's only more and more watches globally through the website encrypto.cc. Let's say 300, the price, the sales will contribute to the bounty QR prize money, up to $3 million, or 400 watches, $4 million. So the community kind of decides how well the project does, because it is a disruption to the luxury market, and it's decided by the community how well the sales or the performance or the value of your NFT would be based on global sales and demand. So we are doing a whitelist to decide on who are the influencers or the first 100 ambassadors of this brand, which is encrypto.cc. The benefits include VIP invitations to exclusive crypto NFT community events, VIP privileges to private crypto lounge events locally and regionally, VIP access to yacht parties and discount on yacht bookings through our partnerships with SG Yachting, as well as SG Fishing Charter. And also we have VIP priority bookings and discounts to affiliated restaurants, including Seared.sg, which is right beside six-star hotels and Regis. VIP perks to wine and alcohol beverage deals and wine tasting events through our partnerships with Cornerstone and various like Amber Nectar. We are having our booth at Zouk this coming Wednesday and Thursday on the 27th and 28th at web3con.info. Yeah, so, and scan the QR code to follow the instructions on how to qualify for our whitelist for this limited edition NFT. Thank you. Next slide. A quick introduction about myself. Yes, I'm the founder of NFT Bounty Launchpad and Encrypto.cc. I was the co-founder of Cloud Mining Singapore. I started mining since 2009. In 2013, we did a Litecoin mining operation out of Singapore. We had about 1,000 ASIC miners, used up to about 3 megawatts of power, and we mined over like 1 million Litecoins and 10% of the global hash rate of Litecoin and accidentally Dogecoin. I'm also the co-founder of Zenfin.org. The previous recent recorded live streaming event I did was with Geylang Serai Virtual Community Club, which is a government financial literacy program. It was in around May last year, just before Elon Musk tweeted about Doge, and it went to the moon to 73 cents. So those that tune in to that episode, maybe they would have benefited from my knowledge sharing. All right, next slide. Just a quick background. In my previous life, non-crypto, I was a solution architect. So I worked with Samsung on Singapore's $1 billion project, first mega project. And then it was the financial crisis. I started my internet cafe in 2009 that's where I first got affiliated with Bitcoin, right? And then I sold it, and I came back to help Toyota build their global ERP system that oversaw $1 trillion. And in 2013, in fact, this event today is also supported by Founders Institute. In 2011, I joined Founders Institute as one of their first batches here in Singapore. 2013, I went to Dentsu and helped oversee M&A of 4 billion pounds when the pound was worth more back then. Nowadays, the USD and the euro is on parity now. What interesting times are we in? And that was for 30,000 staff across 300 offices in 100 countries. Then I came back to Bitcoin went to $1,200 in 2013. And then I said, oh, that's what I was mining back in my internet cafe. So I wrote to the Singapore government and inquired about support for PIC program. And with that pre-approval, the government replied about the giving us a pre-approval for 70% of the hardware costs and infrastructure costs. So I asked investors, literally you are being subsidized 70% to print money, and we raised 1.5 million and built 10% of the global hash rate for Litecoin, which accidentally also merged mine with Dogecoin, and we mined 1 billion Dogecoin. And 2016, I represented selfremit.com, was the finalist for Singapore FinTech before the word FinTech became a buzzword. And 2017, we did $20 million ICO under ZenFin. It's the world's first hybrid blockchain. And next slide. At our peak, we were at almost 20 cents. This was 15 cents. And we were at rank around 60 on CoinMarketCap with a valuation diluted market cap of about 5.7 billion. Due to the recent bear market, is now trading under 2 billion. Next slide. Next slide. Various keywords and find me on LinkedIn. I'm Peter Yo. Next. This was Samsung, the Siltronic silicon wafer plant. Next slide. This was my internet cafe in Batam with over 300 computers, and that's how we started mining Bitcoin. Imagine mining 1,000 Bitcoin before the pizza event out of this internet cafe in Batam, Indonesia. Next slide. And then I helped with a mega church. Next slide. And Founders Institute. Next slide. Toyota. Next slide. Dentsu Aegis. They became the 4th largest digital advertising agency in the world. WPP, Ogilvy, Saatchi & Saatchi, then Dentsu. Next slide. And this was cloud mining, 1,000 ASIC miners out of Singapore. Can you imagine? With high electricity costs, and this was 2013. And also that was the first crypto winter. Bitcoin hit 1,002, and then right around the next quarter, next half of the year, China announced the first Bitcoin ban. Man, that was the first crypto Armageddon. There wasn't a fear index then, but it will be like a -100 for the fear, because that was the very first time the government banned Bitcoin, and it was China, and Bitcoin fell from 1,002 to $200. Litecoin, which we were mining, fell from $24 to $2, and Dogecoin was like worthless. People were giving free, and they couldn't afford to do their own mining, so that's why they merged with Litecoin. Next slide. Then ZenFin, CoinMarketCap, I covered earlier. Next slide. Temasek Launchpad is, I'm the resident blockchain entrepreneur there. Next slide. And featured on their articles. Next slide. And so whatever I've shared is documented on print as well. Next slide. Next slide. Prior to the pandemic, there were various conferences that we could attend to. Next slide. And since 2014, I'm featured on various newspaper articles, 2015, 2016, 2017, next slide, 2018, 2019, 2020, next slide. And yeah, and that brings us here, next slide, today. So having done mining, having launched ICO, and also congratulations to my younger brother, Kenneth Yeo from Sparrow, receiving their license from MES, in principle approval, to be a local cryptocurrency exchange that focuses on options. Having done all that, I asked myself, what's next? So I told myself, I want to build something that is of legacy, something that is. There are too many rug pull projects out there, different NFTs, some cat, some dog, some monkey, some donkey, even, you know, and it's even a Malayan one, yeah. So what is missing in the market? So NFT Bounty is a revolutionary NFT DeFi model of digitizing real-world assets into NFTs and using asset-backed DeFi to provide market-making liquidity for generated NFTs and provide liquidity for loans using NFT assets as collaterals. What does that mean? So using Encrypto.cc as the first example, world's first luxury watch backed by NFT bounty program via the QR code on the watch and earning watch holders kind of like a passive income via the unique NFT and bounty DeFi program model. So what this means is you are part of a global brand, right, through the watch by owning the NFT. Not only you get to enjoy the wearing a diamond watch that shows $1 million, which is the flex, you also own the NFT that appreciates in value as you share more. So the first 100 or even the first our first batch of users as well as future batches of users will be incentivized to share more because of the positive experience where they wear the watch. The value is increasing every day as more sales are done through the platform, and the QR code is increasing. So and there's liquidity through OpenSea, which because it's a functional NFT. When you collect all 100, you can redeem the prize pool. Even though it's difficult to redeem to collect all 100, there is because of this function, there is a price floor based on the combined value in the NFT bounty prize pool. So yeah, I'll just summarize. So this slide here was in 2021, and the euro was printing, and here we are today in July 2022, and the euro is now on parity with the US dollar, which also brings us to the US dollar is also printing. What's going to happen? Also, interestingly, MES just announced a $7.5 billion loss in foreign exchange because of the strong Sing dollar. So what's next, guys? What's going to happen? And what about a DeFi NFT asset? Is that more safe? Or you keep your currency? Yeah, next slide. Yeah, over 2.5 trillion was in cryptocurrency, up to $3 trillion. And but now most of it has gone down to over just under 1 trillion. But most interestingly, a lot of money is now parked in stablecoin. So everyone is just waiting on the sideline, waiting. This morning, the fear and greed index was 33, 34. Bitcoin is back at 23. It was fluctuating between 20, 23 doing this dance. It was as low as last month at 17,000 per Bitcoin. The fear greed index was 6, but now it's 33. So we think the market is back. Bull run will start. I don't know. But yeah, this is on record. We'll see. Are we at the bottom yet? And DeFi, real DeFi, not those Ponzi DeFi, real DeFi like Aave, Curve are still going strong and are trading cheap right now. They are real lending solutions with asset-backed collateral. One article I'd like to point out to is Arthur Hayes. He runs a very good blog, and he explained about the Lunar UST fallout. Those DeFi that are coded properly and run properly with assets had no liquidity issues. When the price fell, they just liquidated those collaterals and were still trading. They never ever suspended withdrawals. Centralized exchanges run by humans, which are prone to human error, or it's a blind spot because they are a big fund, 3AC, Three Arrow Capital, and you just lend out the collateral, and that's how disasters start to happen. Yeah, next slide. Super Carvelondi covered about this watch before the Frank Muller and crypto one. Next slide. So NFT bounty program is fundamentally and radically different from other DeFis and NFTs that face serious issues with their fundamental system design and smart contract. The issue they face is linked to limited Ponzi liquidity or over-centralization of trust, right? Like the 3AC thing that happened, resulting in rug pools or liquidity providers watching their assets vaporize due to the domino effect of the bank run. A real world example would be your banker calling you saying that, you deposit 100K AUD, Aussie dollars, and you get 4%, AUD. Back then, the inflation rates weren't that high, so 4% was pretty good. And in a different scenario, the different banker calls you and says, why not invest in this other product that gives you 25% AUM? And you think, not bad, and you try, and only later on you realize it was Zimbabwe dollars, which collapsed. And that's the analogy when you invest into crypto. If you do not understand their economy, if you do not understand their ecosystem, if you do not understand that this currency is like a GDP of a country, you wouldn't know what you're investing into. Yeah. So the difference is degen tokens that do not have tokenomics backed by real-world ecosystems versus NFT bounty program supported by real-world assets and secure deposits with custodian partners. You need to know what's good for you. Yeah. So skip this one. NFTs and DeFis have taken the market by storm, captured hearts of investors, seducing them with APY numbers of over 50% to 50,000% annually. Yes, there were like a milk farm, honey farm, some of these degen farms, and it was a moment of greed, like get rich quick scheme. I'll be in and I'll be out before the next guy. And it's that kind of mentality that investors have that cause them to suffer. Same reason why 32 million was absconded, right, by this Singapore and Thai lady couple. Yeah, and now they're on the run. So the fact stands that many were money-grabbing schemes and ended in failure or exit scams or rug pulls. The liquidity provider disappeared along with the token value. From over a decade in crypto, I came up with this hybrid NFT DeFi model solution, bridging real-world assets with crypto world tokenomics and liquidity, enabling real-world asset owners to digitize their illiquid assets to NFT and find liquidity at the speed of crypto with the market-making capabilities of NFT bounty program. So this luxury watch is just the first product that we're embarking on. What we would like to establish with this experiment is to help a real-world asset liquidity that are illiquid to find liquidity. Because of the recent stock market crash, your stocks are not performing as well. Many investors went into alternative investments like Rolexes or rare whiskey, rare wines, Yamasaki 55-year going for like $1 million, or some people are getting exotic basically. But if you need liquidity, you go to the bank. Hey, banker, here's my Richard Mille watch. Can you give me a loan? The banker just shrugs. He can't give you liquidity for it, and that's where we come in, because NFTs are recognized as private assets and protected by the law, as evidently so through the precedence case where the Bored Ape NFT was blocked by the Singapore Supreme Court from this liquidation process. Yeah, next. So in summary, through getting a watch, you can experience what NFT bounty is like, and it's a wonderful experience. You see the value increasing daily and you're incentivized to share. Yeah, next. Yeah, next. So yeah, big problems in crypto. There were so many hacks, so many rug pulls, so many failures, and now we're in winter, right? DeFi was plagued by non-sustainable APRs offered to incentivize token holders to stake, right? Major liquidity providers, when they leave, it triggers the domino effect of a free fall. Most NFTs lack real utility and sustainability in terms of intrinsic value beyond the initial hype and FOMO, and are dependent on acquisition of new players coming to the NFT space to provide new liquidity, or the price floor of the NFTs will drop below initial purchase prices because there is no real function. Versus NFT bounty, which is a bounty claimable from a custodian partner, your NFT is pegged to its price pool money. So yeah, okay, next one. We have 17, I wrote a white paper of 17 reasons why 99% of projects fail, right? Beginning with the first one, zero APY. At NFT Bounty, actually, we are offering zero APY. We don't need to give away, I say projects giving away APY is like selling your organ parts for a blood transfusion today. You're not going to live long. That project's not going to live long. If they're selling double-digit APY to borrow money from you in order for them to have liquidity today. They won't live long. How NFT Bounty is able, or Encrypto.cc is able to sustain with zero APY is we create a enjoyable product experience. You're wearing the watch, you see the value going up, there's no APY given to you, but all the value is stored into the price pool, which your NFT value will go up. And the value is captured there, so there's no selling pressure. Next one, zero evil VC. This is, I got a lot of flack for this, for writing this. Many projects became unsustainable because there were bad acting VC, forces at play, and that demands on maturity and demands to cash out. They rug pull the community, right? Some VCs demand 3, 5, 10x within 1 year or 1.5 years, and then it's the community that suffers, right? But for VCs or family offices that values that are aligned with us and here to grow their portfolio, or we can help them to provide liquidity for their assets, we're happy to partner with them because they're here for the long term to build value. Zero centralized exchanges. Over 10 years in this, I can say most centralized exchanges are not your friend, especially if they are not regulated, because there's not much for them to lose if they decide to, do a $32 million scam or say, I got hacked, But beyond that, how does an exchange create trading volume? They need to trade. What do they trade with? They trade with themselves either through wash trading on the major pairs like Bitcoin, ETH, and other major tokens. And they will suffer. Why? Because people will arbitrage them. Because they are trading, you go in and you arbitrage them. They lose money. So when you list a shit token project on a centralized exchange, you are their target to raise volume. They should trade you to zero, and you are the only person that will try to, not even arbitrage, try to save your token price. So that's how most projects lose money. Zero dumping. Our token emission, upon sale of the 100 NFTs, we will launch a public token sale that is one-to-one pegged to the total value of our ecosystem, which is backed by assets and secured by custodian partner. So there is no additional surplus token in circulation that will cause any sell pressure, and also zero short selling. We have an innovative, we call it the HODL token, right? Because there's zero short selling in the smart contract. Because we are not on a centralized exchange, we are able to maintain a 50% anti-rug tax on buy, sell, and transfer that gives 25% passive reflect to our token holders with 25% buyback to the liquidity pool. So this is a HODL token. If there are short sellers that are trying to come in, they can't short us because we are not on centralized exchanges. We are not they are not able to leverage to short us. And bot traders, FUD spreaders, they're not welcome. And at minimum, if someone makes a 3x on the token, they will only be able to cash out 1.5x, where the other half is given back to other token holders and the community to hodl even more. So this is a long-term play, guys. And 0.6, zero rug pull. Yeah, it's with the custodian, there's nothing to rug pull. Next slide. 0.7, zero hack. Due to the anti-fragile concept design and partnership with competent custodians, safeguarding our prize pool and assets, as well as a zero centralized exchange policy, there's quite literally quite nothing to hack about. The prize money is with the custodian. Our tokens are not on any exchange. It's on DeFi, and the value is on your wrist in the watch. So yeah, we can predict there's going to be zero hack on this one. All right, and zero exposure with partnership with custodians. We're covered by insurance policies, Lloyds Bank, zero mismanagement with a DAO structure and custodian execution model. We are able to secure, mismanagement risk, right? Zero keyman risk with DAO and custodian. There's no single point of failure. The DAO will vote on what kind of assets that we will onboard and decide on token emission. So as we onboard more assets like a Richard Mille watch or a super yacht on our roadmap, the community will vote on which assets do we onboard, and then we increase the token supply. Zero scam. You can search Google about our team and our history. Zero price manipulation, because all the tokens are either with the custodian or with the watch holders or with the hodlers, because there are no short sellers. So there's no extra token in circulation to allow for any kind of price manipulation. Next. Because of that, we are able to say there's a zero NFT price floor crash, because it's a functional NFT with a bounty price pool. Number 14, zero sell pressure. So we've covered most factors of why token price are crashing because of sell pressure. Ours are asset backed. And 15, zero risk of. So investors did ask me, Peter, there's no such thing as a perfect plan. But it can be very close to perfect. So what is our risk? Our risk is overexposure to a single class asset, kind of like Fannie and Mae, overexposure to a toxic asset class. But in our DeFi DAO model, where community gets to vote, so that is an unlikely event. So we're not exposed to any single asset class. And number 16, exchange by the name of B, with the letter B, that transacts billions of dollars every week, has only $1 billion insurance fund, which is like less than 1% of the entire trading volume. As compared to that, we are covered, through insurance, through our custodian partners. So we are much safer, and all our funds are either with the custodian partner, locked in the reward pool, deployed in the DAO, right, which is which is decentralized, and our users have their own private keys, right? Or locked in HODL because there are no short sellers. So yeah, there's zero comparison, and this will allow us to say, we expect a zero token price crash because we've covered basically most of the factors. Next slide. Next slide, we covered already. So what is NFT bounty? I can summarize it in what we call the bountification process. Through the watch experiment, we're able to conclude that we can apply the same NFT mechanism, bounty mechanism, or real world activation of an NFT process. Okay, so if illiquid assets are like syrup concentrate that is non-consumable, at its source, the bounty token acts like a Evian water that you mix with different assets to activate different liquidity pools in order for it to be liquid. So that's what we call the bountification process. Yeah, next slide. So the NFT Bounty Launchpad provides an ecosystem, the community, incentivization via tokenomics, passive income reflect protocol through the smart contract, and residual value for resale through the bounty prize pool for your NFT, collateralization of assets for NFT loans, a DAO to manage NFT price floor and rebase, and as well as a marketplace and platform for the above. So we do all the difficult parts, which is the tokenization, the tokenomics model, the community building, and the hot for any project to partner with us, to use us as a launchpad. Your only focus would be on your MVP, that you deliver what you set out to do, be it a game, be it a exercise app, activity to earn, or play to earn, exercise to earn. You just need to deliver what your MVP says that you will do, and you can leverage on our tokenomics because our community are all hodlers. They are in here for the long term. There are no short sellers. There are no sharks, looking to quickly get in and out. Buy the low, sell the high. No, we are here for the long term. Next slide. Yeah, this is my team. Yeah, that's me. That's my biz dev, Yiling. That's Lionel, which is from Empire Global Partners. He's advising Roger Ver, Bitcoin.com, Bitcoin Cash, as well as Richard Lovehart from Hex.com, both are crypto billionaires. Roger Ver is also my advisor on Zinfin. Right. Philip is my CFO. He was from EY Consulting in Hong Kong, and is the ex-MD of DHL in APAC. And he's now CEO of Hafa Supply Chain Financing. So it is also a very interesting one he's doing, where he can, they help, so for example, a fruit seller or banana seller to NTUC or Sheng Siong, they only get paid 90 days later after their bananas are sold in the supermarket. And yeah, they literally can't borrow from the bank if they're too small. So they end up turning to alternative financing platforms that charge like 2% per month on average. Yeah, so that's 24% a year. So that means my bananas have to make more than 50% project margin in order for me to be profitable. So we are also exploring on how to, fund those invoices of real world bananas already on sale at your supermarkets. Yeah, I'll skip this. Yeah, Super Blondie we mentioned before. Next slide. Yeah, so we did a SWOT analysis and how we can improve on that model, and that's the outcome: NFT Bounty and Crypto CC. Next slide. Yeah, it's a beautiful watch, you must say. The one on the far right, the green one, is the 500 pieces that Bitcoin.com ordered from Frank Muller. and that's where we inherit the relationship. Yeah, next slide. We also work with a songwriter from Hong Kong, famous Hong Kong. Anyone here loves Andy Lau songs, 笨小孩, or some of those songs? Yeah, so we can turn that into a NFT program to share the revenue, copyright. Yeah, next slide. Apparel as well. Next slide. Even charity. So as a charity, when you receive donation, or as a donor when you donate to charity, all you get is a thank you and a tax write-off if they are a registered charity. But with a NFT bounty program, other than doing a charity tax write-off, you get to an NFT as a souvenir that can maybe even make you a profit, because you can collect all 100 NFTs of other people that donated. Next slide. Every heard of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and what we have here is potentially a billionaire super yacht club. So we were in talks with billionaire Tan Sri, Vincent Tan, who owns the ASEAN Lady, right? And that's a super yacht worth, they bought it at 80 million euros, selling us for 30 million euros. Can fetch a revenue of a public charter at $1 million a week. So it's kind of a good investment, if I might say. And Bored Ape Yacht Club, just ape, no yacht. For us, it's a legit billionaire, legit super yacht, and it's an asset generation. Yeah, next slide. So when I was sharing about the billionaire super yacht club with my friend in Dubai, he said he's staying in the Crown Prince's guest house, and he just inherited from the Crown Prince of Dubai the super yacht Quadrille worth 180 mil, private G650 Gulfstream. So when he says Netflix and chill, is literally on the plane, right? And the NXJ of the Palm Jumeirah, yeah. So these are potential roadmaps on our project. So instead of like some virtual, hard to understand metaverse types, we are more practical. We tell you these are the assets we would like to onboard. We need to issue more token and raise and back them and provide liquidity. Or we are backing bananas, right? Real world bananas in your supermarket. Yeah. Next one. We explained to different stakeholders how they can leverage on us through our launchpad. If you do your own NFT launch, you do not have the support of the entire community. You are open to price floor speculation, right? There's limited resale value, and your legal framework and entity structuring. Yeah, all that we handle for you. So yeah, we provide Launchpad as a service. We provide our ecosystem. We provide a strong community. We provide hodlers. We provide no short sellers. And you only need to focus on your MVP. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah, this is next slide. If you want to listen more, you can Google this on Facebook and listen to the previous recording. Yeah, next slide. And that's the end of my slide. Thank you for listening to my sharing today. How long was it?